there are many of us, we can never really come to encounter God simply because we use our intellect only to try to rationalize whether God is real, whether God exists or not. Or in many circumstances as well, we use our reason to justify what we want to do. We can give all kinds of reasons to justify whatever we decide today. And this is happening all over the world, whether it's the individual, whether it's relationship with states or in society. We can justify every action that we do. We can give all the reasons we want why this is reasonable, or why we need to support, or why we shouldn't support. We can give every reason. And same thing too for all the other issues as well, whether it's transgender, whether it's euthanasia, we can justify everything. This is a world in which everybody can give reasons for whatever they want to do. And so at the end of the day, we know that it is a matter of preference, because who can say objectively it is right, it's wrong, because we can justify almost anything we want to do. And this is precisely in today's first reading as well, where we are told that in the prophet Jeremiah, particularly the people, they were not receptive to him. They were not listening to his voice. And the Lord said, "Listen to my voice, then I will be your God, and you shall be my people." They were not ready to listen because their hearts, as Jeremiah said, they were evil. And they wanted to go their own way. They were not ready to change their lives. The leaders, particularly political and religious leaders. And so they were stubborn. There was lack of sincerity, there was oppression, but it was more for themselves. And this is, of course, the same case in today's gospel as well. Here again we find that the people were asking Jesus for a sign. He had just cast out a dumb spirit. And when the dumb man spoke, they were amazed. But again, instead of coming to the conclusion that it is the work of God, again, they had to find reasons why they cannot accept Jesus. And so they say it is through Beelzebul. And of course, Jesus, in today's gospel, tried to rationalize with them that what you say is intellectually absurd. How could the kingdom of Satan be divided against itself? It is impossible. And at the same time, too, why a double standard? But this is the whole problem today. The world always double standard. We have a standard for some people that we like, another standard for people that we don't like. So everybody is doing something because of selfish reasons. And this was the case of the people during the time of Jesus. They were not willing to accept him. And the truth was that even their own leaders, they were also performing exorcism, not only Jesus. So exorcism was not something that was accomplished or done by Jesus. There were also many miracle workers during the time of our Lord. But when it is their people who perform the exorcism, then it's from God, It's like that. So life is such that we try to put each other down. And so, what is the important thing that perhaps we need to really think through for ourselves? I'd like to invite you to think through about your own life. Or that today would listen to his voice, harden not your hearts. Where are those times, occasions, when you think your heart has been hardened? Why do people harden their hearts? Most of the time, and I believe, it is not a question of the head. It's not a question of reason that people cannot accept God, that people cannot forgive, that people do not want to follow the gospel, not that they are not convinced that what the gospel is saying is the right thing. What is the real problem? Yes, we use our intellect to try to figure out and try to justify what we already have sought to do. A very clear case in the question of existence of God. Why do people reject God? Is it because the arguments are absurd? We know very well that when it comes to proving the existence of God, neither can we prove the existence of God, neither can you disprove the existence of God. So at the end, the matter is faith, it is encounter. No one can disprove the existence of God, but we cannot prove either. So at the end of the day, reason can only lead us to a certain level. At the end of the day, it is a matter of the heart. A person who has encountered God in his life, you can give all the 1,000 reasons why God does not exist, nothing is going to change him. But if a person who has a difficult life, a very broken life, or he has come from a place where there is nothing that is spoken about God, but most of the time, I feel and I get impression that this lack of openness to the existence of God, mostly because of personal difficulties in their life. Because they have gone through very hard time. They have gone through bereavement or failures in life, in business, in relationship, in marriage. And that's the reason why they just cannot open their heart to the love of God. And so too, in our relationship as well. We know we are supposed to forgive people. Again, forgiveness is not a matter of intellectual realization that it is great to forgive. It is good to forgive. I can give you all the reasons why you should forgive. And you all know the reasons why you should forgive. Why should I forgive? I don't forgive. I'm a prisoner of this fellow. He's making my life miserable. Every time I see her face, I get angry, I get irritated. I must forgive, I know. Everybody knows. But why they don't forgive? Because the heart is wounded. Because of the past. Because of something that has been in the past. I find it difficult. Because I've been humiliated. I've been abused. I cannot. So it's a question of, because the heart cannot let go. The head knows. Everybody knows the only way to be freed of your enemies is to forgive. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows. And why they don't forgive? Because the heart is wounded. Because every time we think of the person, we think of the pain. So our hearts are closed. We are not ready to open the heart. So, as Jesus in the gospel tells us, it takes a strong man, which means to say something must happen radically before a person let go. Many people, they just cannot let go. They cannot forgive. They cannot forgive themselves. They cannot forgive others. And they just hang on. When the heart is ready to let go, the Lord comes in. The Lord heals. And they encounter God. So at the end of the day is, are you hardening your hearts? Whether in relationship, in forgiveness, in your prayer life with God, it has to do with hardening of hearts. Even in the way you look at people in your life. Your colleagues, for example. So you have something against a colleague. Yes, because of something that happened in the past. And so every time you see the person, it is the hurt. Already you have decided in your heart, you are not going to open your heart to this person. We can just talk superficial, but I won't open my heart because I'm afraid to get hurt again. So when that process continues, then this is where your life will be short-circuited, your love relationship will be frozen, and you can never be free